A strong man is going to be shamed by weak men and women. Like, so once again, you have the whole world against you. Real men, they protect women. So like, sorry that guy took you on a date and was creepy, but he's a weak man. A strong man wouldn't do that. I have a great relationship with my father. I love my brothers. I have amazing guy friends. You know a lot of my guy friends. And I feel very, very lucky because I am lucky in that sense. I probably have a super biased opinion on men. With that said, have I encountered monsters in my life? As you have? Yes. Endless. Endless. Lots of them. I was in the darkest party scene. I would never wish that on my enemy. As we were saying though, do I take accountability for myself being in a lot of those positions where I encountered not great men? Yes. But have I also seen people like my father and brother go through things with women that like women can be so cruel on a level that I know everyone's capable of, but we're cruel in such a different way. But I feel like it's never ever talked about. And the pressure men have on them in society now is insane. I mean, to have a wife to make happy, to have children, to have a job and a career and all these things. And like, you don't get to like go cry or have tea time with your girlfriends and whine and just cry it out and be sensitive and vulnerable. That's pressure society has put on men is a lot. And I do think that they don't really have a voice because that's my video. It's 5 million guys being like, oh my God, thank you. I agree with you. Because if I say these things, I am demonized.
I actually think that it's more challenging to be a man in today's society because of exactly what you're saying. There's way more pressure for them to succeed and provide to be able to bring all of this to the table and to even attract the desired women. Like, as women, we really don't need to do those things.
No,
Like, we can just choose who we want to be with, and these men can come and bring that to the table. And it's
they can
it's,
bring us an
yeah,
entire life.
yeah, exactly. And so there's almost a sort of imbalance there, I would say. And then a lot of women, still in those positions want to receive it all without really giving back what you were saying earlier about
Yeah.
like being nurturing and loving and supportive and all these things. So I can empathize with a lot of women and some of the struggles they've had with men because I have personally dealt with very, very abusive, toxic situations myself from men. But just because I have had these negative experiences does not mean that it warrants to destroy every single man on earth for their wrongdoings. It doesn't really like provide a safe environment for men to come, to for you to even meet those people,
Yeah.
right? Like
That's what you said earlier. You were like, you're creating a world of monsters. Then you're going out there to find Prince Charming.
you're making them more angry at women because
Yeah.
also the women are filled with all this rage. And I know, and some of this rage is warranted, like I said, but there needs to be a healthier way to release this and to understand one another so that we can work together. Because right now, all I'm seeing is people just, fighting each other. Like,
That's all I see. And by the way, I feel like it's strategic. So I was telling her right now, all I see being promoted across the internet is just women and men slamming each other. Like on an aggressive, just purely hateful level.
how is that progressive at all? I mean, it's
Hey,
just
aren't
hate
we all about
creating.
being progressive
Yeah,
right now
exactly. It's
and
just
woke? And so why is the hate the number one most watched thing?
just hate perpetuates more hate. Um, I don't. It really
Yeah,
leaves
like
me
what do you do?
speechless.
Yeah, because it's like what do you do? And the one thing I would say is like a lot of these shows, okay, you're bringing in guys and you're putting them in rooms with females that are not like us. You're putting them in rooms with girls who have had probably very not easy upbringings, that are not very intelligent, that probably do OnlyFans for a living. And it's like, here's the thing, those guys need to take a little bit of responsibility. Why don't you bring some smart females into the room? Are you maybe worried that you're not as smart and great as you think you are? Because I think that's annoying. It's like picking on the easiest person. You know what I mean? So I don't like that. But also, I can genuinely say I've never seen like any of these videos where women are having any accountability. And every day it's just all men are shit. This is why you don't date men. This is why you don't have sex anymore. And I'm like, dude,
Okay, well then you will continue not dating men or having sex anymore if that's the attitude that you're bringing to the table.
Men have not only made our existence here, they've made our lives amazing. We owe so much to men.
I agree. Men are the architects of our reality in a sense. Like there are things that men can do that women simply cannot, and vice versa.
Yeah, of course.
That's why we need each other. So I think that what all of these women and based on their personal experiences, what they're touching upon, I don't think they're actually hating on true masculinity. I think that that's something that doesn't really exist or it's very rare.
Mhm.
What I'm seeing happen is a lot of weak masculinity, weak egos, things like that. These men are not truly tapping into their masculine
Because they're
forms.
being shamed by women for being masculine. That's and they're also, I feel like, oh, shamed by weak men. A strong man is going to be shamed by weak men and women. Like, so once again, you have the whole world against you. Do you not? Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. All the guys, real men, and I have them in my life, thank God, or I probably wouldn't be able to acknowledge or see what one is. It they protect women. So, like,
They
sorry
do.
that guy took you on a date and was creepy, but he's a weak man. A strong man wouldn't do that. This issue is not to not have sex and to stop dating. The issue is for all of us to work on ourselves, to become better people, to form better relationships.
Exactly. And I mean, I can honestly trace in my own horrible experiences with men what I did to attract that to begin with, because I know
Yeah.
that I
Mhm.
haven't been free of sin. Like, I have done things to put myself in these positions to begin with.
Yeah.
And I think that when we actually start, looking in the mirror and seeing like what our actions have brought us to, we can understand that like these things are not just one-sided. Like it's time to take responsibility. And even if the most horrible thing has happened to you, there's still something that you can take responsibility for.
Like, everyone's a victim now. They had no part in any situation they've ever been in. And it's like, dude, instead of being a victim, be like, okay, I had a little bit of part of this. It's okay. I forgive myself and I forgive the other person. And now you can move on and learn from it. But what is the point? It's like, if you're a victim, you're not learning
Right,
and you're not growing.
you just continue focusing on this terrible thing that happened to you, and then you don't actually try to find a solution.
Men give you incredible lives, incredible careers. And what do? As soon as you get to the top, you slam them. And you see it with her, you see it with Julia Fox. Sorry, Julia Fox goes on Twitter, makes jokes about sexually like assaulting guys. And like, I think some female rapper, I don't know, like made jokes about like drugging guys and all these things. I'm like, first of all, if that was a man, he would be slammed across the internet. Let's just say one of the craziest things. If every person you've ever dated is, according to you, a piece of shit, maybe you're the issue. Like, oh my God. It's like kind of crazy. It's like, maybe it might be you. I'm just saying, like 40 ex
To
boyfriends, they're all crazy. None of them are you.
yeah.
You've never acted out. You've never been wild.
But I just don't understand this need to take your personal problems with people to the public
Yeah.
stage.
Or how
Like,
about to the new person? Why? You're literally poisoning the pond just
right.
by doing that.
I don't really agree with this witch hunt and this need to expose all these men
Oh, I think it's
on the
disgusting.
public stage, unless, of course, there was something that was absolutely horrific that was done that could impact other people. And
Oh, yeah,
there's exceptions
of
to
course.
these situations, but what I'm seeing now is just this absolutely wild, erratic, like witch hunt against men, and I actually just think this is going to perpetuate this issue that we
Oh,
have going on.
it's going to take good guys and I think it's gonna make them monsters because it's crazy. I mean, I talk about the cancel culture and everything going on, and I mean, first of all, I if there's anything I hate, it's the obsession with celebrity culture. They are just flawed human beings. No one deserves to have everyone go after them. These people have families. It's not okay to not have privacy. But what's going on is like disgusting because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I forgot that everyone tearing these people down. Oh, everyone's just perfect human beings. These are oh, guys have never had, like, their own sexual fantasies and wanting to explain that. I'm like, how many talented men have been taken down? By the way, the crazy first of all, let's talk about the craziest statement of all time. That is absolutely believe all women. Remember when that was going around? That's insane.
I have no words for
Remember
that.
when they
Yeah.
were, like, really promoting that?
Right, believe all women, but I know a lot of women who are very cunning, very strategic, like, you
As
know,
we are by nature.
right. And so I personally know a lot of women, like I said, that kind of contribute to these problems. So to make a statement that we need to believe all women when it comes to looking into all these cases is just I don't know, it's extreme.
Yeah, it's
It's
very extreme.
not logical. Like it just doesn't make sense.
No, whatever happened to, like, what we do in court? It's like, okay, we go over the evidence, we have a trial. Whatever happened to
Innocent
that?
until proven guilty.
Exactly,
I think
but
everyone deserves like a fair trial for every situation, but now it's come to the point where one person says one thing, they don't have any hardcore evidence about it, and suddenly we have to take their word for it simply because it's a woman.
yeah. And how many, great music and movies had we have come out since then? And also, the crazy thing is we have men okay, Johnny Depp, perfect example. It's like, dude, he won that trial, and it's like, okay, are all these people that have been canceled now getting are they getting their money back they lost? Are they getting their careers back? And also, it's crazy because women are so insane, they'll actually still defend people like Amber Heard, and it's like, you're just a horrible person. I look at every person equal. I go, we are all capable of horrible things. So this divide in men and women, like one of us is better, is completely not true at all. And I think a lot of these women are damaged and need to realize that you being feminine and kind and sweet and loving and all these things is what makes you special. And when you lose those things, you almost you yeah, you almost become like a shitty guy.
Right, and it's also important to like have an open heart and to I don't know, be receptive to the good men that are out there because I mean, I just think the second you've decided every man is horrible and all this stuff, you've already put up a wall.
Yeah.
And you're creating that reality for yourself to only keep attracting that over and over and over again. And now you're like living in that sort of reality.
Yeah, you are.
And I think you and I are very accepting of the masculine energy in our life. And I think that's why we still continue to have positive experiences with men, even though we've also had horrible
Yeah.
experiences. Um,
And we talk about those with each other. And what do we do when we talk about those? We go, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have been like drunk on Molly at a nightclub at 3 a.m.
maybe
Maybe I didn't think
food for
like,
thought.
yeah, crazy thought here. Maybe my actions might have had something to do with it because how many amazing guys are, at the Roosevelt at 3 a.m.? I don't know. Maybe they're all there. Who knows? What do we really know? But
Right.
that's the thing. Everything we talk about comes from accountability. And also, let's be very real because I can say, coming from personal experience, when you work on yourself and you heal yourself as a female, you tap into being feminine, you attract the energy you put out into the world. And you also, that comes with sacrifice, which no women I talk to, besides you and very few others, are willing to do. Let's be real. How many guys want to be with a girl who's out every night at a club getting drunk? Oh, well, I'm not going to sacrifice that.
Not the good guys.
No. But that's the thing. All these girls, they talk to him. It's like, okay, well, what if your boyfriend says you can't do that? Oh, I'm out. Also, they do interviews now where they're like, would you cheat on your boyfriend with Chris Brown? And like just weird things like that. And girls will be like, yeah. And their boyfriends will be like next to them. I'm like, dude, this is like sick. This is like sick mentality. As someone who has worked on themselves for a long time now, guess what's shocking? Oh, I finally have a healthy, loving partner. Shocking when I'm not doing fucked up things 24/7 and being an awful person. I actually attract someone good. And that's what we were talking about.
But I think the most empowering thing I was ever able to do for myself was to actually thank the men that did bring all of these obstacles and abuse into my life and whatnot and negativity, to thank them for the lesson that allowed me to grow and to understand and learn more about myself and how to show up for myself and how to not put myself in these situations in the future. And I think that when you can accept and forgive them and thank them and these situations, it can set you free.
Yeah.
And the letting go of that can really kind of allow you to start creating new patterns in your life. Because I think that when you hold on and you're attached to this idea, well, I had this one bad experience, so now all men are like this. I mean, you're just never going to move past that. You're
No.
never going to create something new. You're never going to attract anything new.
No, it's trauma. You need to learn from it, move past it. And I think even the way you see men is going to be so different because when you see things in such a positive light, because that's the thing, I have no animosity towards anyone I've ever dated. I don't care. They were all lessons. And by the way, they just make you better in the game. Why would
Right.
you not want to be the best at the
Everything
game?
in life is a lesson, and then you can use that as an opportunity to grow. That is probably, the highest level that you can operate at.
Yeah.
Instead of like sit at this like woe is me.
Well, victims down here,
Yeah, and it
and
just
then you can get all the way to the
which
top.
is what I'm seeing most of society do. And
That's
these are
all I
like
see.
and this is like the kind of content that's being boosted at the top of the algorithms. And
Yeah,
it's just like and then I think this like infects the minds of young people as
it
well.
does.
And it like influences them to start thinking the same way. And it's just like, where's this leading
Well, that's
to?
it's
Like,
mass thinking.
yeah.
And it's not leading anywhere good. It's not leading anywhere productive. And one thing I see online, which I find very sad, is and I don't think things used to be this bad, of course, is I see a lot of women will go and they'll have children with men, and then they'll slander them, like women with big voices across the internet. And it's like I don't, I want to have kids and get married, but like whatever my partner does, I think it is really, really tasteless to slander the father of your children, especially knowing that child's going to grow up and see it. And also, like we said, maybe you should thank that man because he gave you a beautiful child that is hopefully healthy and a complete
Yeah. I
gift.
mean, there's a way to hold people accountable for what they have done wrong
Yeah.
without publicly executing them.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, bad things happen in relationships. That's what relationships are. And usually both people are not perfect.
Yeah.
So if you're going to slander someone on the public stage like that, then also be accountable for what you may have done as well
Well,
in
that's
this
the thing.
situation to make it fair. Because like we keep going back to this. Like I know that every single situation that happened to me that was negative, I also brought to myself. Like I
Yeah.
am responsible for everything that happens to me.
We are. And that's also why I think we're happy and we're able to attract really good partners. I mean, we were laughing. We were like, men are literally the reason we're sitting here right now with overpriced matcha and lattes, being able to have amazing conversation.
Yeah.
Is it not true?
Exactly. Like I couldn't do all this technical work right
No,
here. My
that's
brain
what
is
I'm
not
saying.
wired for that. So like, thank you.
You're
Sean and
welcome.
Jules.